Well, it is Saturday morning, and that's the Hudson River right there behind me. And we are about to get on a bus from Albany and travel west almost 400 miles, and then get on our bicycles and ride all the way back to where I'm standing over the next 8 days. This is the beginning of our adventure on the Empire State Trail along the Erie Canal. Kind of chaotic. We just got off the bus, had some traffic. That looks like home sweet home for tonight, but we have no idea where to go. And we are in tent 20. I think it is technically the farthest tent from everything. The single farthest tent, which means the longest pole or the most privacy. We'll take that.
Welcome to Cycle the Erie Canal, the 26th version. Woo! It's also known to a lot of you folks that come back every year as Uncle Al's summer camp for big kids. Because, a lot of times we see faces here and names that we only see this week, so it's pretty cool.
We do have 37 states represented here today. So shout out, of course, to New York, right? So we've got New York representing pretty heavy with 165 New Yorkers in the house, or should I say out of the house. We've got next up New Jersey with at least 24 of y'all here. Thank you, New Jersey. And then of course, Virginia and Massachusetts tied for third.
521 riders and 98 volunteers.
So, there's a lot of cool stuff. Abolitionists, suffragists, come listen to us talk. Or don't, and we get a free vacation. So, but yes, so 7:30 each morning. We go about 10 to 12 miles an hour is our pace. The canal is 199 years old this year. Woo.
All right, sunrise, first morning, trying to figure it all out. Getting dressed in that little tent was not super easy. Okay, here we go. We're heading out on day one. Morning, Greg.
Morning.
This is the beginning of the ride. Short little trip to the trail. And we're off. All right, I'm still in Buffalo on the Shoreline Trail. This is the beginning of the actual Empire State Trail in scenic Tonawanda. And here we go.
Well, my mama, she told me, and my papa, he told me too.
This is it, right?
My mama, she told me, and my papa, he told me too.
All right. On the Empire State Trail, and that would be the canal.
Light bulb, it gets switched off and on.
We've got a few more feet to go until we get all the way up in this lag. When we do get all the way up, you're going to see those gates in front of us pop open a little bit. That indicates to the lag master that we are all the way up, and he can safely open those gates and let us into the next lag.
The canal features a series of locks which lift and lower boats to get around rapids and other obstructions. In Lockport, we went through two of them.
You see how those gates are angled off? They're called miter gates. They're built like that so that the lockmaster cannot open them on purpose or on accident unless the water pressure is equal on both sides.
We just left Lockport, did the boat tour. We're on gravel now. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yay,
Good.
we're riding on gravel.
We're riding on gravel for the first time.
Okay, and here we are, arriving in Medina. This is our stop for the night. Nice little river town. And we are arriving at the tent city. And here we are. Medina Central School. Here we go, day 2. All right, legs feel okay. Morning, Mary. Here we go. Wow, this is so pretty. All right, so we are on some sort of a thing. Kind of different here. I mean, you can fall right off the edge and into the canal right there. Some people are walking their bikes. Some aren't. It seems rideable. Well, it's very pretty anyway. Gorgeous morning. Ride her up. On your left. Thank you. Good morning. Okay, well. Ah, that's better. Look at that bridge. This is so beautiful along here this morning. The temperature is perfect. Right now it's probably in the high 60s. Riding along the canal. We're only 2 miles outside of Medina, so we just started. But it's really been gorgeous. And everybody's just loving this. Morning. How you doing? Where are you from? Outstanding. Where are you from? Tallahassee also. Cool.
So this is my third Erie, and last year I did a 1,500-mile bike ride from Fulton, Mississippi to the Canadian border. And so if I was going to do a 400-mile bike ride this year, I was like, so how can I make it different? And this is how. And so I'm challenging myself to carry all my gear with me.
Tent, everything.
Tent, everything.
Wow. And how has that been?
Yesterday was great. Today, so far, so good.
This is Albion, or Albion? Not sure. Pretty little stop. How's the recumbent go on this?
Looks fine.
Is it more comfortable than what I'm doing?
I would almost guarantee that.
Some people say. So we're at a rest stop right now, 21.8 miles into day 2. Everything's going really well. Excellent rest stop. Just had a little history lesson on the canal. Learn more about it. They actually drain it fairly often. Got another 40 miles to go. What is the deal with the dog?
He's a rescue.
Yeah?
So when we got him, I was training for a triathlon, so clearly he had to come with.
Yeah.
So he goes along.
Is he going the whole way?
So we live here in the village, and we just went for like 20 miles, stayed last night, and came back today.
Oh, okay. So you're not going 400 miles with the dog?
No,
Was it hard to train him to do that?
no. Just popped him in there, took him to Starbucks, bribed him with a few pup cups.
Wow. Do you rescue him from the SPCA?
Yep.
One of the things I'm learning is that Canal is quite an engineering feat. The water level to my right is the canal, to my left is the highway, and the canal is much higher than the highway because it's all controlled with pumps and dams and all kinds of stuff. Okay, 45 miles into day 2, and we are near Rochester, New York, and we just came to the convergence of several rivers. We're taking a little detour from one of the rest stops. A volunteer is taking us to see a waterfall in downtown Rochester.
Okay. Frederick Douglass was a resident of Rochester. This is where he produced his newspaper.
People who lived in that historic neighborhood right there did not have access to the river. Much of the residents here did not have access to the river. And again, as money comes in, there's the Rock the Riverway project, which just gives the river back to the people. And this was one of the first projects they did.
All right, so this route takes us right into downtown. All right.
This right here was the original Erie Canal coming up into the city.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that little thing right there.
This whole thing right here used to be the Erie Canal. There was an aqueduct where the aqueduct actually took the canal over top of the Genesee River.
It is day 3, and we're back at the tent city here this morning. The legs took a little bit of a beating yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. This was not, we did 70 miles yesterday, and it was not an easy day for for the last 10 miles, but the heat was on us. We did a side excursion in to see the waterfall in Rochester and have lunch at the Genesee Brewing Facility, and I got to tell you, that was really worth it. I would do it again, but I paid the price. Legs cramped a little last night, and I'm a little nervous to get on the Jari this morning and head out. I'm hoping my legs will be okay. I want to manage my electrolytes a little better, and we'll see. We're just a mile into the ride on Tuesday morning. It's overcast. Riding along the canal. What I can't believe is that my legs are working, because I was absolutely trashed yesterday when we got back at 4:30. And you know, a couple of hours from now I may feel differently, but right now I guess, you know, my legs feel okay, and it's starting to feel like it's going to be doable. And I see all these other people, they're all doing it. Kind of gives you confidence that you can do it too. Seems like everything about this tour is either about history or canal construction. We're in the town of Palmyra, which has been described as the home of Mormonism.
Joseph Smith Jr. receives a vision, so he is already kind of caught up in this second great awakening thing. And then he gets a vision from the angel Moroni, who tells him where to find these golden tablets, which had been left behind by the lost tribe of Israel, who sailed here after Jesus died and settled here in North America. You can see the place where all this happened, where the vision happened, and where the tablets were dug up about 4 miles south of where we are.
This is the village of Newark. Very pretty, and they've turned out for all the cyclists. How you guys doing? Great, thanks for the turnout. It's very nice.
Become Peppermint King.
Well, we've gone 34 miles and we are in Clyde, New York. All right, this is a new one. We got an ice cream stop by the Amish. What do you think?
A&E's homemade ice cream. I'm getting my root beer float.
Beautiful.
It's gonna be the bomb.
Beautiful. How was it? Wow, that was an unexpected treat. We came around the corner and there was a couple of Amish families. Horse was tied up right beside the road. I got video of that. And they had ice cream for a donation. Of course, we gave them a donation. But I asked if I could take their picture. And they said, we can take a picture of the ice cream stand, but not us. Which is kind of what I thought they would say. So we did a workaround, but man, that was a nice treat. And for the record, we're 40 miles into today's ride. So we've got just 10 miles to go. I will say, the thing we're all talking about right now is the fact that the remnants of a hurricane are coming through tomorrow. It's supposed to rain all day, and you know, like that hurricane, tropical storm rain. So we got to ride in it, we got to camp in it, and we're all thinking, if there was a night to stop at a hotel, this would be it. But then a part of me is thinking, yeah, do I want the whole experience, or do I want the easy experience? And I don't think there's a wrong answer to that, but that's where we're all stuck right now, all four of us that are riding together. But for now, we're just happy with the ice cream right along this beautiful country road. Last place in the world you'd expect anybody to be set up, and it's just nothing but green as far as you can see. Okay, we have arrived in Seneca Falls. It is humid, it is hot,
Leave this one down.
but I think we feel better than yesterday for sure.
Whew.
Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Well, good morning. That doesn't look like much now, but that was the scene of a water main break. And so there was heavy equipment grinding asphalt all night, and our tents are right there. So it was loud enough that when we had a little rain overnight, you could not hear the rain on the tent because the heavy equipment was louder. We had just mentioned the water main break last night, and it is just hot and super sticky this morning here in the tent city. I couldn't even get in my sleeping bag last night. It was that hot. On the other hand, it was I did sleep even though there was all the heavy equipment working on the water main break. So got a decent start to the day. We thought it was going to be raining now, and it's not. And so we're still wondering about the remnants of Hurricane Beryl coming through during the day. A lot of riders looking off or leaving early, trying to get to Syracuse before the rain. Day 4, and we are off to Syracuse. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? How you doing, young man? All right, so we're about 4 miles into the way to Syracuse and haven't found the trail yet. We're on a state highway with lots of traffic. Even though there's a wide shoulder, of course everybody's being courteous. It's a long row of bikes ahead. I don't know if this is because this is a section of the trail that hasn't been developed yet, or what is the deal, but it's not the greatest experience. Good morning, guys. Mile 8. Beautiful view of the scenic New York State Thruway. Here on Route 90 and International Raceway. Now, it hasn't been so bad. Nice wide shoulder. Oh, and how you doing? Enjoying it? Fort Byron Visitor Center. Really nice.
Was able to transport messages in record time.
Okay, right about 15 miles and we are back on the trail. finally, and some remnants of the canal to our right. All right, so we are on some really narrow single track right here. Aren't we, Mary? Can't see you. So we've been on the highway quite a lot today. We're at 19 miles right now on the way to Syracuse. Right here, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, swamp there, trail. There's this beautiful garden that's been very well tended. And it's a memorial garden to a runner. Why are we here?
So this is Brian Place's park on the Erie Canal. We put it in memorial after he passed away. He was a runner and a biker, and his mom and our whole family, a huge family, 17 first cousins, 10 aunts and uncles, wanted to make a memorial for him. So we created this space near where everybody grew up.
Where are we?
We are in Memphis, New York.
Okay.
To be confused with Tennessee. You are in between Jordan and Camillus.
Got it.
Well, Warner's, I guess, is your next. And the gardens have expanded over the years. Brian passed away in 2010.
And he had an aneurysm?
He had an aortic aneurysm.
Got it. Gave us the most wonderful cold popsicle. Are you having fun so far?
This has been, yes, this has been awesome. It's really fun.
How do you like today's travel?
Well, they were calling for rain and now they're not, so I think that is a plus. I think we got super lucky. We only have about 11 more miles till we get to Syracuse. So this is a short day.
The whole trip has really been amazing, huh? I mean, I've just loved this.
Yes, every day. This is day 4. Every day has been just as good as the day before. It's I would recommend it to anybody that likes cycling.
And there's a lot of people here who aren't as dedicated to cycling as we kind of are.
That is true. There's lots of people that don't have fancy bikes, they don't have fancy bike clothes, but they're doing it and they're loving it and they're having a great time.
There's the big carp right there. All right, guys, let me have it. This is Camillus. So Jim, you are the guy?
I'm the watermelon man for the last 10 years. Well, I picked this job 10 years ago working on the PM rest stop. That's where we are now, the PM rest stop. So I started cutting watermelon then, and I'm still cutting.
That's amazing.
I'm 25 to 30 a day.
Hi, how are you? There's my family. Are you guys taking in the museum? Okay. It is hot, I think 91 or 92. Probably humidity to match. It's only 40 miles. But holy cow, I am so happy to see this park and that tent city. We got here early enough today that our tent is not set up yet. Every day they just drop our bags off of the truck. And today they were right next to our tent, which was beautiful. A little interruption of the day. We just had lunch at an Irish pub and storms are coming through. So we were told to seek shelter in the Syracuse Zoo, which is what we're doing. And as we were walking up towards the doors, we got a notification of a tornado warning. So now everybody is in the zoo seeking shelter. We did just have a storm, but luckily we were out at dinner. Clouds are still looking a little ominous, but not too bad. And we are arriving at the tent. All right, it's raining.
It is raining.
We are inside our tent, and there's not a lot of space. Actually, it looks like more space than it feels like right here. But we do have an air mattress, so somebody called that glamping, but I'm here to tell you it's not glamping. Would you call it glamping?
Not glamping.
You have an old bike.
1972 Sears Free Spirit. Used to be a 10-speed.
Used to be a 10-speed.
Used to be a 10-speed. I've converted it.
To what?
Now it's a 12. And you can see it's got a fairly large sprocket on the front.
Yeah.
I took it from up tube shifters to down tube shifters.
Those are big technological developments now.
Well, you know, it was at the time.
Did you feel any pressure to bring a better, newer bike?
No.
Why?
Because I like this bike. It rides very nicely. It has a longer wheelbase. It's real steel. It's actually got a lug frame. Fairly high tech for the day. Has stamped dropouts, which is odd. So it's a very comfortable bike. It's built to be comfortable.
All right, we are leaving Syracuse. A more proper look at Syracuse. This morning, we roll out in this big pack. Gate ahead! 19, and we are in Chittenango, New York. Chittenango boat building. What'd you think?
I think it's amazing because I don't have any more words. I'm done.
That was a bed right there?
These are like the first style of Murphy bed.
Okay. Really?
The saying "sleep tight" comes from this type of a rope bed because these ropes would have stretched, and they used this tool to tighten the ropes to stay tight. They would have been a little bit wider, but probably not many. And it would be typical that a family, maybe of 5, came with their husband and lived in an area like this. These are the living quarters. Yeah, these are the living quarters. Yeah.
We are between Syracuse and Rome, and there's about 30 miles of trail and canal that are described as the most original by our historians this morning. And it's really pretty. Of course, this is not the canal that they use. It's one of the original versions of the canal, but it's just really pretty. We're riding along on day 5 and feeling pretty good. My legs they're holding up, but they feel wooden, kinda. But I'm not gonna lie, my butt is sore, my sit bones. But we've been on this trail here. We're outside Rome, New York right now. We've got about another 5 miles till we get there. So gone 45 miles today, and we've been riding with the canal on our right. And it's just, I mean, it's the old canal, not the canal they use. It's just been socked in with duckweed, kind of swampy. But we've seen turtles and some other stuff, and it's still really pretty. Well, it sure doesn't look like much right here, but right there is where they started the Erie Canal, which is in the middle of New York State. So they started in the middle and then they worked toward either end of the state from here. Kind of an unusual way to do it, but that's what they did. And I just had my picture taken next to the sign that says this was the exact spot. But today, as you can see, it's just kind of swampy and muddy, but it's a great place to ride your bike. Tent City.
The historic significance, the Revolutionary War fort where the American forces with the Oneida Indian Nation fought and defeated the British, which led to subsequent treaties being signed with the Iroquois Confederacy. It's a beautiful landmark here in downtown Rome. The reconstructed fort was built in 1976. The original fort built in 1758 by the British.
And now it is time to find our bags. This is the tent city in Rome. It's Fort Stanwix. There's the tents, and if you look, you can see the walls of the fort right there next to us. And Rome is throwing a street festival just for us.
So come on, baby, oh, won't you squeeze me tight, yeah. Don't you want your daddy to be alright, yeah.
So it is so long to Rome this morning. Never got in the fort. One of the things I'm really excited about today is, as we go from Rome to Fort Plain, is that we'll be passing through Little Falls. My mom and dad are coming down from Salisbury Center and they are going to have lunch with us. And so if everything goes according to plan, by about 11:30 this morning, I'll be having lunch with mom and dad. And I'm really excited about it. So got that to look forward to, but it's 40 miles from here to there. So a 60-mile day today, but at 40 miles, big treat. Goodbye, Rome.
Okay, what happened?
John overfilled the bike tire.
The canal is right there. We're at another lock right here. First tube didn't work. Tried a second tube and that worked. Greg, don't go off the edge. Hey everybody. Have you shifted out of second gear yet?
No, or not third?
Third, wherever gear you were in.
Nope.
Last time I talked to you, you hadn't shifted gears yet.
Well, I did the other day.
But you did?
Yeah.
Okay. We are in Utica.
Yay, Utica! Woohoo!
And so, when Prohibition is repealed, the West End Brewing Company is magically able to produce a beer right away, Utica Club, which becomes known as the first beer served after Prohibition.
Haven't seen a lot of boats in the canal, but this is the proper barge canal now, so we may see more. We're going through the Mohawk Valley. We've been through the towns of Frankfort. We're sort of in Ilion now. We'll be coming up on Herkimer and then Little Falls.
great variety today. It's not too humid. You can see a lot of interesting stuff that you don't see from just driving on the highway.
All right, we made it. Mom, you ready for lunch? Let's eat. Okay. That radio tower is WLFH, or it was back in the day, and that is where I started my broadcast career. 1230 Radio, your hometown music and information station. All right, man. What's for dinner tonight? Chicken.
The Erie Canalway Trail is an incredible resource for upstate communities. It's a connected off-road path that's safe for walkers and bikers of all ages and abilities. You know, it goes through historic communities in upstate New York. It's a conduit of economic development, like so many historic transportation corridors across the state have been over our state's history. The Canalway Trail is 85% off-road today, runs 360 miles from Buffalo to Albany, and it really is at its core a connector. It connects people to the outdoors, it connects communities to one another, and it just connects our whole state. Our estimate is that 4 million people use the entire Canalway Trail system. That's both the Erie and Champlain Canalway Trails every year. Most of that use is along the Erie, which is 85% off-road today. And I think that it's critical that we continue to fight for that additional 15% to get off-road. There are still stretches where it's not safe for families to be able to get from community to community. It's not safe for folks who maybe aren't comfortable riding with high-speed traffic going by to be able to use the trail comfortably. And we want it to be a trail that everybody can come and enjoy. You don't have to be an experienced cyclist. You don't have to necessarily be somebody that does this all the time to enjoy a trip on the Canalway Trail.
And just when you think you got her, she flips your switch and she's gone. All right, flip the switch on that banjo.
We are rolling out of Fort Plain in the fog. Kind of pretty. Excellent breakfast this morning. Extra chamois cream.
Yes, I'm going down south.
We're rolling through Canal. We're 5 miles into the next to last day. So I guess this is day 7. And on your left, one of the things that occurred to me is that the Erie Canal, it was a fundamental game changer for life, really in the United States at the time. And I would compare the completion of the canal to the internet of today.
The canal is kind of the information superhighway of its day. So shipping times are reduced from Buffalo to New York City from about a month to a little less than a week. Similarly, prices drop about 10 times. So you've got thousands of people now moving on the waterway faster than they ever have before. Yeah, and out of that come a lot of different religious and social movements that change America.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you feeling this morning, Karen?
We are feeling great. 320 miles in. The sun is beautiful. My little butt is holding up.
Yeah, so this part, not exactly peaceful canal part. But there hasn't been much of this at all. Just paralleling the New York Thruway.
Because I'm broken hearted, I got them down south blues. I said I'm going to the station, gonna catch the fastest train ever. I'm going to the station, gonna catch the fastest train ever. I'm going down south where the weather suits my clothes.
The Tri-County Old Engine Association. We have arrived in Schenectady. And we turned the corner and just found a much prettier section of Schenectady. Reminds me of the Fan in Richmond. So this is called the Stockade?
House in the city right there, Yates House.
Yates House, really?
You guys have all been so great. It's been such a wonderful time. I'm sad I won't be able to ride with you.
We hang caps and lots of signs each day on the Erie Canal.
I got a bike and her name is Sal. 400 miles on the Erie Canal. She's a Cannondale and a good old pal. 400 miles on the Erie Canal. We eat our pickles every day. Watermelon, come what may. Sore butts feel every inch of the way. From Buffalo to Albany.
It is day 8, our last morning in the tent city. We have only about 27 miles to go now to get to Albany. And if our calculations are right, that should put us right at exactly 400 miles. I have to say this has been an amazing trip. And as I'm standing here this morning, I'm very sad that it's over. I have absolutely enjoyed it. We've had a tornado, we've had a water main break and all the equipment associated with it. We had an obscene rapper outside of our tent in Rome, but despite all of that, it's just part of the process. And it's really, really been amazing. So now on to Albany.
Never bike the law on the Erie Canal.
Walking out on this bridge to look at some waterfalls. And there is, wow, that's beautiful. And this is how they got around it. The original Erie Canal right there, Clinton's Ditch. And then the enlarged Erie Canal, which was part 2, to get around the falls. And then now today they put the barge canal on the other side, but it was quite a thing, I guess, to get around that. Quick look at Cohoes. And here is a rest stop.
The Army, U.S. And soldiers, this was early in American history, so nobody really knew what U.S. stood for. And soldiers would call it Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam's pork, or what have you. And then it becomes even a more broad nickname for the federal government. So that's where you get Uncle Sam from, is Troy. They even have a monument to him over there.
This is where the Mohawk River meets the Hudson River, right there. And there in the distance is the skyline of Albany. Wow. There it is. That is the finish. Holy cow. Coming through.